Hey guys, how's it going? It's the Beast is Loose, and I am back with your daily CSGO betting predictions and analysis for the day of June 6th, 2015. We have a lot of games going on tomorrow, a lot of different teams and unknown teams that you should not bet on, and I will tell you which matches you should not bet on. I have read up on some of these matches, but we're going to skip past the HM Festival. These three matches are here. We're going to skip this ESWC match right here because Defect and DC are not known teams. We're going to jump into the first real game of tomorrow, Na'Vi versus Fnatic. This should be a great game. Fnatic has been playing really well lately, and Na'Vi have been in slightly a slump after doing really well the past couple weeks. I do think Fnatic will win this best of three, but it might be worth betting low on Na'Vi if they can come up big, have a good day, and Guardian can hit some great shots tomorrow. Then who knows? Fnatic might go down. Next we have PH versus USSR in the Rising Tornado. And then we have PH versus TSY. I do think PH will lose both of these, but it is worth betting low on PH in both of these just because of the odds and because it's a best of one. Next we have NR versus KPV for the 99 damage arena, and I do think NR should win this because their best of three team is better than KPV's, even though both of these best of three teams are not good at all. I do think KPV will lose because they've just been in pieces lately and have not been able to get a good gameplay or a couple games together, which is why I don't think they can last a best of three. Next we have USSR versus TSY, these two teams from up here. Out of these two, USSR is the better, but I do think that TSY, Team Swag YOLO, can actually pull out the win since it's a best of one. On all three of these best of ones, all these teams are inconsistent. All three teams of these are inconsistent. So I do think betting on the low, since it is a best of one, will net you some good profit since one of these underdogs will eventually win tomorrow. Next we have a best of three, Hellraisers versus TSM. Hellraisers is kind of in the same place as Na'Vi, as they did really good the past couple weeks, and now they're slightly in a slump. TSM on the other hand have been doing great. TSM on the other hand have been doing great, and I do think TSM should win this best of three, but if Hellraisers can get some good shots in and Doja can get his good lurking in, then I do think that Hellraisers can definitely take this best of three. I do think Fnatic should win this and TSM should win this, so it will be Fnatic versus TSM in the match coming up later. Next we have USSR versus Team Swag YOLO again. Just like up here, they play again in a best of three next. I do think that USSR has the better best of three team, so I do think they will win this best of three, but the best of one could definitely go to TSY. Next we have HSBG versus Easy Peasy Lemon Squeezy, and out of these two teams, I do think HSBG do have the better best of three team and are able to close out three games. Although Easy Peasy has been working their way up a little bit these past couple weeks, and I do think they do have a chance, so I think betting low on Easy Peasy would be a good bet. Next we have Liquid versus Elevate, an NA matchup. Elevate have not been doing as good as they should be. Liquid on the other hand is looking pretty good for an NA team. Nowhere close to the EU teams, but also very good, one of the best in NA. So I do think Liquid should win this best of three because Elevate does not have a good best of three composition yet and have not proven themselves to play at the level that Liquid has yet. We have G-Play versus the winner of NR or KPV, and I think that match was up here somewhere. But yeah, I do think G-Play should win this because G-Play have been actually really good lately. And G-Play have a special way that they play that I've noticed watching their games lately, is that they play some weird strats, and it's usually hard for the teams, even tier 1 teams, to play against them, and usually their games against tier 1 teams are at least close, even though they lose. They give them a run for their money because the tier 1 teams can adapt really quickly to these weird strats, but these lower tier teams can't, which is why Gplay should win this match. I would say bet high on Gplay. That is a risky bet, but I would say bet high. Next we have V3 versus Pitter, and you guys have heard of Pitter. Their game isn't on here, but Pitter did play today, and they did well, and I do think they will win against V3, just because V3 is nowhere near the level of Pitter, and I would say bet high on Pitter. Next we have the winner of Navi and Fnatic versus the winner of Hellraisers and TSM. I do think this will be Fnatic versus TSM, and I do think that TSM should win this best of 3. I would say TSM is the best team right now in the Counter-Strike scene, depending on who they face, and TSM versus Fnatic is usually a matchup in favor of TSM. Who knows, it could go either way. I would say if it is Fnatic versus TSM, go ahead and bet medium on TSM. Next we have CLG versus Nilium, and we have a good matchup here because CLG and Nilium are both great teams for their NA respectiveness. I do think CLG will win this best of 3, even though Nilium have been showing up really well at their matches lately. I do think CLG will still pull this through. You could win some good money off of this. I would say bet medium on CLG. Then we have TMP versus Cloud9. Not worth betting because the odds are 10% in TMP's favor. I do think Cloud9 will win this by far. Let's move on to the last match listed for the day. Affinity versus Keyed Stars. And Keyed Stars has been looking amazing lately, and I do think they should win this really easily. I'm going to say bet high on Keyed Stars. That is it for today. A lot of matches going on today. Subscriber update. We hit 30 subscribers today last time I checked. And like I said in the last video, thank you guys so much for all the support I am seeing on my channel. It means so much. If I have won you any money in the past, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you want to stay up to date on all my CSGO betting predictions and analysis content or any other content on my channel, if you want me to help you win money and skins on CSGO, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. My name is The Beast is Loose, and I will see you guys in the next video.